are the Freedom Collective. And today we are very excited for this session is really, really special. So stay tuned until the end. In the meantime, hello and welcome to everyone who's joining. If this is the first time you're joining us inside Zoom, let us know where you are joining from. We'd love to know. And if you're watching us on social media, I think we are live already on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Yes, we have the confirmation. So hello and welcome, everyone. If you're watching us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, please don't hesitate. Don't be shy to click the link to register, to come inside Zoom. Come join us here today live. This way you can ask your questions in the chat, but if you prefer to watch us live, that's okay too. You can ask your questions or comment in the comment section. We're reading the comments as we go today, so we'll make sure to answer your questions if you have any. And if you want to reach us as well offline, feel free to DM us or contact us after the event. In the meantime, people keep coming, so welcome everyone. Stay tuned because today is my very favorite part of this equation, that is the self-image. I'm very excited about it. This is my favorite topic, and I would really love to share many insights and many interesting things about the self-image, because if there's one thing that really plays a major role in your success, in your fulfillment, in your well-being, in your health, that is your self-image. So what is the self-image? How can the self-image actually play this huge role that I'm talking about? And how can we actually make sure that the self-image that we have is the right, or is the one, or is the version of ourselves that will allow us this level of success that we are aiming to? So as a reminder, there will be replays. If you cannot stay until the end, we would absolutely love to have you until the end today, if you're joining us on Zoom, or if you're watching live. If you cannot stay until the end, there will be replays, but in order for you to get the replays, please make sure you register using your email. If you have already registered at the beginning of the event, that's okay. You'll receive all the replays every day via email. Check your spam folder if you haven't received any. And stay tuned until the end of this session, because we have a surprise giveaway for you. So we'll let you know everything about it at the end. But without further ado, let's start by recapping what we did on day 2. So if this is the first time you see us, we are doing a 5-day training, a 5-day Success Accelerator training, and we're talking about the equation of success. We said yesterday that success is an exact science. It can literally be put into an equation, and I love this concept because I love when things make sense, right? So we can literally put success in an equation, and equations have variables, right? So the first variable that we saw on day 1 was setting up the worthy goal, a goal that is right for you today, and that will allow you to grow, and that will allow you to have everything you want. We did the exercise of setting up the right goal. We had a couple of questions for day 1. If you haven't set up the goal yet, do so, because this is the component number 1, on variable number 1 of the equation. On day 2, yesterday, we talked about the second component of the equation of success, that is the paradigm. The paradigm, we talked about limiting beliefs. We talked about the subconscious mind, and how your paradigm can actually be the main thing that's blocking you, that's holding you back from achieving your goal. And that is because the paradigm, with good intention, of course, wants to keep you where you are, because your subconscious mind associates something new, something alien, something foreign that you've never done before with danger. For the subconscious mind, it's the same thing. Trying new things, trying things that scare you, trying things that you haven't been programmed to do easily, as dangerous and shouldn't be done. And your paradigm would do whatever it takes to keep you where you are. So if you have noticed that you may have an inexplicable fear of, for example, talking to people, or an you have a goal, for example, and you have no idea why you keep stepping back and not taking action, or you have a bad habit and you have no idea how much hard you try. No matter how much you try, you can never really change that bad habit. This is the paradigm. There can be, of course, other explanations like environment that or bad influence from outside, but the biggest influence is the paradigm. So it is very, very crucial for you to identify what kind of paradigms that you do have that may be holding you back. That was the homework for yesterday. So if you've done your homework for yesterday, of course, if you have been joining since the beginning of the event, tell us in the comments or in the chat if you have identified the paradigm, if you have identified a limiting belief, or if you have noticed something about your habits that actually needs to be changing and something that you will make the decision to change in order for you to reach your goals. So we'll wait a couple of seconds. I think in the meantime, we can start our poll, maybe all the questions at the same time, so that we have some time to reflect. Good one, Jay. The habit I'm working on is getting to bed before 10 a.m., 10 p.m., sorry. Yeah, I think this is a big one because, yeah, we often say, okay, we have to wake up earlier, an hour earlier. Well, if we want to stay healthy and really be productive and functional the next day, we have to have at least those 8 hours. So it starts the day before, right? So yes, going to bed before 10 p.m. That's actually my goal too. But I guess today that's not gonna happen. This week that's not gonna happen. So I'll just wake up an hour later. That's okay. All right. Is the poll on? Okay. I can see it again. I think I already clicked on it. Oh no, I can see it. Yeah. Cool. So question number one, if you cannot see the poll, maybe people who are watching live cannot see the questions, so I'll just read them out loud. First question today, how are you running your career, your life, or your business? Like a seven-figure entrepreneur, or like the successful person you want to be, or like the version of me that's stuck? So this means, are you actually having the same habits that you have always had and trying to make things or trying to do things the same way, with the same habits, with the same skills, with the same paradigms? Or are you thinking like the person you want to become? Second question, what's the one daily habit keeping you at your current level of success? Is it going to bed late? Is it scrolling on social media? Is it being super shy at work and not asking for that promotion? What is it? Could be really anything, but you know what it is deep down. And third, if your business or your life results reflect your mindset, what does that say about your current thinking? Or in other terms, if someone has met you today and you talked about your career or your life situation with them, what kind of an idea are you giving to that person? Are you the successful, inspiring person that you want to become, or you want people to see in you? Or is that person going to think, well, this person is not going anywhere with that attitude? What do you think? These can be a bit tricky to admit to ourselves because, as we said on day one and day two, the hardest conversations can be really with ourselves, because conversations with ourselves are like in the background of our minds. We're not talking out loud. And this is why affirmations and self-suggestion is very powerful, because we don't often use verbs or use uh, verbal communication with ourselves to talk out loud. So if you can write down your thoughts or talk out loud to yourself in the mirror, or record yourself talking, you'll be amazed of the amount of power that will impact you, because hearing ourselves talk is not something we're used to. I mean, hearing ourselves talking to ourselves. If I hear myself just saying things to my own person and stepping in front of the mirror and talking to myself for a couple of minutes, or even like looking at myself in the eyes, that's not something we do usually. And it will feel very awkward if you're not used to it. But this is one of the most powerful ways for you to have this conversation. Why are we talking about this, talking to yourself in the mirror? Because you need to have this conversation if it's still hard for you to admit these things, or to really identify the paradigms. If that's not the case, well, good for you. But still, talking to ourselves in the mirror and having really this habit of getting to know yourself is going to be a very important thing to do in this equation of success. This is about the self-image. This was a little introduction, but in the meantime, if we can close the poll and see the responses, that would be great.
Nina, in the meantime, Mandeep has got a comment.
Okay, yes, let me read that. I think my goal is to define a clear goal. Okay, my paradigm is probably like a circle. I would like it to be a pyramid, series of steps to take me to the pinnacle of my existence. That is amazing. That's very nicely put. If the goal is to define a clear goal, that's a good place to start, because that's better than choosing the first thought that comes to mind, only to discover maybe after years that this is not actually what I wanted. So take your time to decide what you really want, to set up a worthy goal, and then start from there. As about the paradigm, that's probably like a circle. Yeah, it's like the snake biting its own tail, because paradigms will generate other paradigms, and habits will really stack over each other and just build a super attitude, or super big habit that's really like composed of many subconscious beliefs and limiting beliefs. So it has this snowball effect, if you will. So yeah, constructing it as a pyramid, that's amazing, because you can literally stack habits over habits, and then really change the way you perceive things, and then start building new perspectives and new ideas. And it's literally like building an idea. It starts with a couple of thoughts, and then you put the thoughts together and you build an idea. So paradigm is like a pyramid of habits. You probably have to destroy the circle, or this huge snowball, but one habit at a time, one paradigm at a time. We'll talk about this more later. In the meantime, yeah, can we see the poll results?
Of course. So we have some very honest people with us tonight.
Yes.
71% have said that they are running their business or career or their life from the version of them that is stuck. So
Yeah.
great awareness, guys. Awareness is the first step to making any change, because if you're sitting there thinking, oh no, I'm perfect, everything is going perfectly wonderfully, and it's not, you can't change it because you're not allowing yourself to be aware of it.
Denial. Yeah.
Massively. And that's one of the comments that I've seen in the chat, where they've said it's also really powerful to talk to yourself in your native language.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're so used to thinking and speaking in the language of the country that you're in, that you're surrounded by, but your soul was born in that other culture. It's going to understand and relate to that so much more. So great comment. Well done to that person. So the second question was, what's the one daily habit keeping you at your current level of success? And the results said time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't manage time. I'm not going to go on that rant. Lack of discipline. Guilty as well. Hard work, doing my job with an enjoying day. Okay, might need to elaborate on that one a little bit, the person who said that, please. So doing my job with an enjoying day. Someone else said procrastination, and someone else said watching series, worrying that things will go wrong, thinking I need to do it perfectly, thinking I cannot do it. all big habits, all big
Habits, yeah. And
paradigms, big limiting beliefs that you
this
are
is
capable of changing.
this is an excellent summary of the major habits, the major paradigm aspects that really hold people back. Like
Massively.
maybe every one of us has at least experienced one of these habits or one of these limiting beliefs or one of these bad paradigms. So yeah, thinking that we cannot manage time. Of course, we cannot manage time. We can manage the activities we do in that time. So time can be really put into action and really make you like get the best out of your day.
Mm-hmm.
Experiencing more joy during the job that you're doing or whatever it is that you have to do to earn your living or to live your life, that can also be taught and that can also be learned.
Yep.
Discipline, that's a big one. That's one of the biggest problems or bad habits, the lack of discipline, because we need extra motivation for everything. And now we're like really full on dopamine with social media and with instant gratification, that discipline is so really so hard to implement and to build and to have into ourselves, incorporate into our habits, as to stay disciplined and to learn how to really follow a certain habit or a certain daily routine with or without motivation, with or without energy. You build the energy, you get going, and then you get energy. I don't know who said this, but what they said is do the thing and you'll get the energy to do the thing. Basically, just tell yourself that you need to get going, count to 3, and then start doing it.
Yep.
Yeah,
and if
these
you
are a
find
few
yourself
things that could.
doom scrolling, just say, I am stopping in 3. I am stopping in 2. I am going to go and do something, clean, do the washing up, hoover a room. In 1, I am stopping. Just lock the phone, walk away.
Exactly.
I mean, if counting back from 3, 2, 1 works in a room full of teenagers, it can work on you as well. Okay? You've got to be aware of it first. And time management, exactly that, Mandeep. Time management is a myth. Complete myth. Because humans invented the word time. We invented hours and minutes and seconds and days and all the rest of it. So therefore, we can't manage it because we've already decided this is what it is. It's like math. You can't decide one day that 2 + 2 equals 5. It doesn't. It is decided now that 2 + 2 is 4. And it has already been decided that there is 24 hours in a day. So you can't manage them. You can't add an extra minute to an hour. You can't buy more. You can't give more. You can't take someone else's. But what you can do is manage the activity that you do in that hour. There's a big difference between doom scrolling on Facebook and getting on and writing that book that you've always wanted to write. Still the same amount of time. Yeah. This is not productive. This is. That's your choice. You can't manage the time, but you can manage what you do with it. Exactly that. And then the third question was, if your business or life results reflect your mindset, what does that say about your current thinking? These are good. So somebody said, not too good. Very honest. Not what it can be. Very honest. Well done. Another one says, I think there is a mismatch in what I believe and the reality. I believe that I can do much better than I am currently doing now. However, a suitable opportunity is yet to come by. I'm going to put that in a message and send that to Nina directly in a minute, so she can go deeper into that one. Big success every day. Limiting. Phase of change, transition, lots of unknown. My mindset is in transition, so is my life and business. Good job. Good responses.
I love all the responses, really, and thank you guys for your honesty and for your awareness. This is not obvious. These questions are not like usually asked in a casual conversation. So thank you for your honesty and thank you for your responses. Yeah, let me read that again. Jay, I think there is a mismatch in what I believe and the reality, and I believe I can do much better than I am currently doing now. However, a suitable opportunity is yet to come by. That's amazing. I love this. There's so much to say about this. So I think this is a very good introduction to what I'm about to say about the self-image, and I'll be analyzing this very lovely response with what I was planning to do. So, okay, what is the self-image? The self-image is the opinion you have of yourself. If you have met yourself today and had a conversation with yourself, what kind of impression would you have given this person? That is you. Try to dissociate the you from yourself, whatever that means. But try to meet yourself today and decide, do you like this person? Is this person inspiring? What kind of attitude do they have? What kind of insecurities are they projecting? Are they confident? Are they gregarious and outgoing? Are they kind to themselves? Or can you see some self-criticism going on? Some people, we can literally see this self-criticism and whatever insecurities, it's literally getting projected very obviously to other people. So your self-image is the opinion that you have of yourself, and be careful because this opinion is subconscious. You may or may not be conscious of what you think of yourself. Some people have, I think the majority of people unfortunately have a negative self-image, and they actually kind of brag about it, quote unquote, or advertise it. Yeah, I think that's the better word. Advertise their bad self-image. You probably have heard yourself or other people saying, "Oh, I could never do that. I don't know how you're doing it, but I can't even try." Or, "Oh no, I know I suck at this." Or, "I could never learn that new language that I started learning. This is nonsense. This is hopeless. I'm hopeless. I can never change. I suck at this." All these negative sayings about ourselves and about our personality, about our habits, about the way we see ourselves, and then we're projecting that to the world. We're advertising this to the world. It could be conscious like this, saying things out loud like this, or it could be subconscious, but still projecting, still really showing to other people what kind of self-image you have. Some people, you can see them like very loud and outgoing and trying to be like over there, like all over the place. But you can feel the insecurity. You can feel like they're doing too much for whatever they're presenting or they're giving, and they're really projecting an insecurity rather than confidence. And some people are calm, posed, and very you can literally feel the peace within that person, and you can feel the confidence. And once they start talking, you can literally see that this person is not narcissistic but likes themselves. Can you think of someone like that? Maybe share in the comments what kind of idea you think you have of yourself, and have you met someone that you actually knew they had a bad self-image? I would love to know. So I can go on and on about examples about this, but the main takeaway here is that your self-image is one of the main reasons that you're stuck, because your self-image will give you the results that will project that self-image, will project that exact idea that you have. If you have, for example, a bad attitude about learning, you will not learn so much. If you have a bad attitude about selling, if you have a business, you will not sell that much. Because every time you take that action of learning or selling, I'm using these two examples, or going to the gym, your self-image is saying, this is not me, and I can never do something that's not me. But it's saying it subconsciously, and you just end up finding excuses, reasons, explanations of why this thing that you're trying to do shouldn't be done, because it's simply there's the self-image saying that's not me. Yeah, I see some nice comments here. By Colm, okay, yes, me, my mindset is limiting me. Not unlike John's story yesterday, I'm making a comeback. But I suffer from complete lack of self-belief, despite being a confident man used to performing. I also suffer from procrastination. We will talk about that, which makes it difficult to take the steps needed to rebuild my business. Very good points. And yeah, The lack of self-belief and the lack of self-esteem is a big self-blocking, or something that really holds back many people. So how can I actually change the self-image? As we said yesterday, how to change the paradigm? Constant spaced repetition. Through believing that you are actually reaching to a future version of yourself that has accomplished that goal, you will reach that goal once you get to become that person. Let me say this again in other words. You will not change the goal, change the habit. You will not reach the goal and have what you want to have unless and until you become that person to which that goal will come. So if my goal is to become a healthier version of myself, I need to start acting and I need to start feeling as the healthier version of myself. If my goal is to become richer, I need to have the reflexes, the ideas, the routine of a richer person. And you have to ask yourself, what does this person looks like? What does this person feel like? What is their daily routine? What are their habits? I'm pretty sure they're doing something better than myself because they have reached my goal. You're talking about your future version here. It's a very imaginative projection kind of exercise here. So try to get familiar with your future version. That future version, of course, is the future version that you want, that has already achieved the goal. And go and ask them in your imagination, what are you doing that I'm not? It's very obvious that they do not have the same habits, that they do not have the same self-image, that they do not have the same limiting beliefs. They probably have achieved much more success. They probably earn much more money than you. They probably have better habits, have a better routine. Ask them all these questions. Just the fact of asking these questions, your mind will find answers. Your mind will find inspiration and will let you exactly know. You probably already know. Maybe you already do know. They probably, I don't know, wake up an hour earlier, sleep an hour earlier. They probably quit smoking if you want to become fitter already. So ask them these questions and you will be amazed by the amount of ideas that you'll get. I'll read a couple more comments here. Okay, by Mandeep. I read somewhere that most of the people don't like what they see in the mirror. I often wonder why pics look so much better than the mirror. Because pics are just a projection that is not continuous, but when you're looking in the mirror, you keep looking and it becomes uncomfortable because you're not used to look at yourself. I heard someone say that as human beings, we were not supposed to evolve that quickly to see ourselves. Can you believe that? Like mirrors kind of like really changed this self-image concept so drastically in such a short time. Because before we could barely maybe see ourselves in a reflection in the water, and that's it. So we did not have the same concept of a self-image. It's still alien. And remember what we talked about the paradigm yesterday? We kind of inherit in our DNA these subconscious beliefs. So maybe this act of standing in front of a mirror is still uncomfortable to many people because in our evolutionary DNA, it's still not there. It's still not incorporated well yet. Who knows? But still, it's an exercise like any other. The first day, stay 3 seconds. Second day, 10 seconds, and then make it to a minute, and then start talking. Your family and friends maybe will think you're crazy, and that's it. That's okay. That's fine.
Nina,
Yes.
John may have something to share. He just replied.
Yes, I did not see that.
Colin's message. John, would you like to come in?
Yeah. Sorry, I was actually just busy messaging Colin there. Yeah, just to touch on what Nina said and the rest of the ladies here, the honesty is absolutely amazing. So thank you very much for opening up to us and trusting us. And we are here to help you. Everything you say on these calls is it means a lot to us because we want to help you. So we can't unless people ask questions. So thank you so much for that. And if there is any other questions, please just keep firing them out. And I see it says Nina, stay to the end because Nina has something lovely she wants to share with you at the end. Just with Colin, but I'm not trying to pick him out specifically, but just from me, I had those same kind of things, as I said before. In 2008, there was a massive crash, in Ireland, but I know especially a lot of places in Europe as well. And as I said at the time, I had a home. I actually had my home, the one I was building. I employed a lot of people. I had direct contracts with national, like with what was Aircom, which would have been in a massive telecommunications company. Really big stuff. Different properties, different land, loads of things. Good cars and etc. etc. And the whole lot just literally went wallop. I had people coming to the door, repossessing things. I actually had, this is the truth, I actually had to write checks to give to my partner to go into the shop knowing it would bounce. Imagine how that feels, writing a check to feed my kids. Because I hadn't got anything. I literally had nothing. And you can't get unemployment benefit, you can't get anything if you're self-employed, so I got nothing. And I had literally nothing. And I had to get a loan from the credit union to pay my wages to the staff. One thing I can be proud of is I didn't owe anything to anybody personally. I did owe things to big companies, as in builder suppliers and whatever, but there's nothing I could do about that. I had everything taken anyway. So that was a really low place. And, I was in such a bad place that I was literally, as I said, suicidal. And I would literally lie on the sofa in the dark, excuse me, and I couldn't even answer the door. I had people standing outside the door shouting at the door, right? Because they wanted paying, because they had things to pay and I couldn't pay them. I mean, what a shite place I was honestly in. And but through all of that, like nothing changed instantly, I can assure you, right? It took a few years for things to change completely. But what I start to realize is that, as I said the other evening, when you understand the power of your mind can put you in such a dark place that if you want to get out of that, the only person who can do that is you. All the tablets in the world are not going to make any difference. People give you Xanax and everything. I actually went down to the doctor to get something, and he gave it to me. Went to the chemist, and I just threw them in the bin because the minute I got them, I realized this is not the answer. From the dark place I was in, I realized this is not it. If I start taking these things, I'm just going to rely on them and I'm going to be on them forever. And you just get addicted to them. And it doesn't solve your problem. It just covers the problem and keeps you like numb to everything. And you don't want to be numb to everything. You want to experience the highs and the lows. Because but then you have to start understanding why you're experiencing these things. And I say, once you understand the process, which is all of us come from all different kind of backgrounds and places, but we all resonate with the same thing, that we know that you become what you think about. And you really do. If you think sad, miserable thoughts, like if I told you a sad story now, I mean, you know nothing about me. I mean, I even suppose while I'm telling you this story, I mean, it's not going to make you happy and smiley and jump around because it's a sad story, right? So what I'm saying, although it doesn't affect you personally, it's still a fairly miserable story, right? So that affects, because you're thinking that way, then you start feeling that way. And the actions that you take might be that your shoulders drop or your head goes down, or you might even feel sad, or maybe even start to cry. So that's your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, and everything resonates around that. But the same thing can be flipped around. That the minute you start making positive steps and you start thinking positively. So once you start thinking about things and the things that you can do to move you out of the place that you're in, those thoughts create certain feelings. So if I start thinking, well, how the hell do I get out of this? I really need to get out of this. Then you start to try and think of ideas and ways to do it. And then once you start thinking of something, you start getting that feeling. And then that feeling, because of that emotions that you have, you start taking the action from that place. So again, if you're unhappy and you go out somewhere and you know yourself, you'll see people maybe to get a few drinks in a pub or somewhere and they suddenly become loud and leery and they start getting into all sorts of trouble. That's just because they can't hold themselves back anymore, because their will basically is gone because alcohol has taken over and they just lose it, right? And everything that's in them just comes out in madness. But so they're expressing that way because their thoughts are thinking bad things and their feelings are thinking bad things. So their actions, they come out that way. And it's the same if you're talking to a child or somebody you love. when you're speaking to them because you love them and that your thoughts towards them are really nice. I mean, if you think about somebody who you love right now, or you think of a small child or your puppy or something that you really love and got plenty of affection for, you start talking about it, and then you start thinking about it. Then you start having feelings of love towards them. And then you just want to hug something or cuddle something or whatever. And that's what they do when you're watching a movie, for example. They make you have all these, you get scared and then you get crying and you're just an emotional mess by the time you come out. And so this is why we have all gone through whatever we're going through, and we understand the power of thought. And just to say, I don't want to go on to column too much, but I know from the place I was in, when I started changing the way that I thought about things, and I realized that I could actually have anything that I want. If no, you're not going to get it if you just sit there and think, oh, I want to be millionaire, I want to be a millionaire, and don't do anything. That's not going to work. Action is the key, but you only take action from the place of the thoughts and the feelings. And so those three things have to align. If one of those things aren't there, you can have the great thoughts and feelings, but if you aren't taking the action, you're not going to do anything. And it's the same if you take any one of those out of the equation. And that's what we do, and that's what we help people to do. And that's why I was saying in the comment that I can guarantee you 100% that we can help you to achieve what you want to achieve, because we have all done it. So it's not just hype, it's not just bull. Any of us would tell you the one story. So I just wanted to say that anybody that's wherever situation you're in there now, either we've been in it or we know other people that have, or clients that we've helped. There's not very much that we haven't experienced or other consultants even have experienced that we can help you with. So just so you know, whatever it is situation you're in at the moment, I know it sounds a bit corny, but you're not alone with it. And honestly, we can help. And I promise you that.
That's brilliant. Thank you, John. Thank you for sharing this. It is very powerful indeed. And as John was saying, we have started by changing our self-image, our own self-image before starting to do this, because this is the number one step you need to take. Identify your self-image, your current self-image. You can clearly see the self-image when you look at the results. If your results are reflecting what you want, if you're getting the results that you want, then good for you. That's the great self-image to have. If they're not, then something is about to change. Something needs to change. Yes, Jay, or Polly. Yeah, who was first? Sorry.
Yeah, so I quite like to answer a couple of questions in the comment first. And so a few people talk about they don't like looking themselves in the mirror, and they feel they feel that they have a strong and self-image into the external world, but they have a poor self-image internally. And I can definitely relate to that, because even though I'm very aware of the mindset work, I still feel like every day I'm discovering my inner self every day. So I recently bought a flat, and I'm meant to rent a room out, and so that I can get a rental income coming in. But for whatever reason, I kept putting it off. I got a flat in August. I kept putting it off up until like 2 weeks ago. For what? I just keep making excuses. I don't know. I didn't know why. I just keep putting it off. And it was only until like 2 weeks ago, I was reading a book, and it suddenly just come very clear to me. The real reason why I've been procrastinating, not taking the action I wanted to take, is because deep down, I didn't feel worthy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel I deserve having extra income. How ridiculous is that? Rationally, of course, we want to have more money, but in my subconscious mind, I said to myself, I'm not worthy of this extra income, even though I'm totally ready for it. So I said to myself, wow, what I'm going to do with this? This is a new realization. I am sabotaging my own wealth. So I said to myself, all right, this needs to be changed. So I did something super simple, but it's very, very powerful. So I want to share with you guys. In the past, every morning when I woke up, I would do a little gratitude exercise. But what I did previously is I wrote everything down. That didn't work. That didn't work for me. For whatever reason, it didn't work for me. So I decided to change my approach. Super simple. As soon as I wake up, I didn't even get out of the bed. I still lie on the bed. I touch my bed sheet, I touch my duvet, and I said to myself, wow, such a great bed. I had such a great sleep. Thank you so much for having me have such a great sleep. And I look at my curtain and I said, thank you very much for a beautiful curtain, for giving me another great night's sleep again. And that just automatically boosts my energy level because I come out with instant gratification because I generally did have a really good sleep. And I wake up and I'll start thinking, yeah, and I was still my eyes closed. And I said to myself, I love my flat. This is the most beautiful flat in the world. I'm so grateful to be here. And it is all because of my hard work. And I said it was all the gratitude feelings. And I start having all the loving feeling coming up. And I start thinking, yeah, I have a great life. I have my partner loves me, my family loves me, I have a good job, I have a goal to achieve. It is all because of me. Polly, you're brilliant. You are excellent. And then, naturally start complimenting yourself and just automatically start appreciating yourself more and more every day. And it comes absolutely effortless. And then you, of course, in the beginning, you're just, what am I talking about? But just like Nina said, if you want to change to become the person who you want to be, so for me, I want to become somebody that I feel worth having extra income, then I need to love myself first. I need to make myself feeling worthy. So I start doing this exercise every day. I just give myself gratitude. I close my eye, having all the gratitude to everything around me, appreciate life. And I did that for 2 weeks. I can tell you everything changed. I start feeling worthy. I look at myself in the mirror and say, yeah, you look beautiful today, Pauline. You look really nice today. Well done, you. And I start looking into, how to buy the furniture. So, I've got my second bedroom ready now. I feel I'm worthy having this extra income because like John said, I have my ideas, I have my feeling, and I have all the actions aligned. And that is a key to everything. And for the procrastination and for the lack of confidence, this is all because we are so worried about being criticized. We are so worried about making mistakes because we don't want to be disliked. But if we become our best champion to ourselves in the world, why would we need compliment or validation from anywhere else? We don't. And we generate self-loving from the inside out. And this is exactly what we would be teaching you in the programs. You are not just achieving your goal, you're transforming as a person. And that's also to go back to another questions about salary negotiation. Because I do career coaching as well. So I help people with a lot of salary negotiation. And salary negotiation is a skills. But it's not just about the language. You do need to have awareness about how much you're worthy, how much income, how much impact you have generated for your company in order for you to have the confidence to present yourself as a brilliant case that I deserve this much money because I know I'm worth it. If you don't want me, I'll go somewhere else. You need to have that confidence. And that also comes with self-belief as well. And also another feedback for Rebecca as well. Totally agree with your approach. I can also share my experience as well. I had to change my self-image 2 times from the past 2 years. And when I decided to become a senior leader, I want to become a coach. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just took actions. And then I get myself certified to become career coaching and start coaching people. But the more I did, I thought, I still have an icky feeling in my head, in my heart, because I was thinking, I don't really want to listen to people no moaning and about not doing anything, really. And that's when I got into the mindset coaching. And in the mindset coaching world, everyone said, we're going to coach you to become a millionaire. We want to help you to become financially abundant. And I said, okay, that sounds sensible. My brain says yes to this. But for whatever reason, my heart's still not feeling quite aligned. I think it's my problem. Is it because of me? I don't understand why. I just don't feel excited to anything people will talk about. So it was only until I managed to use this principle that we are teaching to cure my dad's cancer. And I saw the little light bulb come up. I said to myself, this is what I want you to do. I want to teach this formula to help people cure the chronic disease. But I was so scared. I was so scared because this is about people's lives. And I said to myself, I don't have medical background. I don't have scientific background. I'm not even a pharmacist. Like, how could I do this? But I said to myself, I did help my dad to cure cancer. That is the fact. If my dad can become like that, everybody can do it. And I remember I had a really lengthy conversation with Jade about it. And I said, John, I'm really scared. I don't know what to do. And it's the right thing to do. And then Jade said, just go for it. Just go for it. So what I did is I started projecting myself every day in my head. I said to myself, this is the contract I have made with God. God has given me this. This is not random. God gave me this miracle for a reason. He wants me to do this. So what can I do in my head as the best mindset coach to help people to cure disease? And then start thinking about a picture. At the beginning, it was very vague, totally clueless. But once you start building yourself as a building a new paradigm every day, it gets more and more detailed every day. Towards the end, now, every morning I close my eyes, I feel my mind was running a movie for 10 minutes minimum. I know exactly what I'm meant to be doing in my mind. And as soon as I have that image in my mind, I have a positive feeling about my future self. I know I have transformed myself as a new person internally. And then what I did, take first action. Like John said, you need to take action immediately, because then you're telling yourself, I'm aligning to become a new self every day. You're training your mental muscle and your physical muscle. And then you can even just say to yourself, I'm just going to do 10 minutes of action to begin with. Just 10 minutes. No more, no less. Just 10 minutes, no pressure. So you do 10 minutes. The next second day, I can do 15 minutes. On the third day, I can do 20. And then just do it bits by bits and by bits. And by the time you realize you're doing with flow with all your action, because you are already building yourself to become a new person you want to become. So it's a very long answer to a lot of people's comment, but I kind of feel like I really want to cover all this. And so hopefully that's helpful. So Jay, your turn now.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And I literally just want to add one more thing. We talk about self-image, we talk about all these things that you want to do in your life. And I really want you to really focus on the fact that there is only one person in the entire universe that you live with 24/7 whose opinion counts. And that's you, the person who looked back at you when you look in the mirror. Okay? There's a lovely little saying that was taken from a Reader's Digest years and years and years ago. And it is, I am not who you think I am. I am not who I think I am. I am who I think you think I am. And we're programmed from really annoying little children to worry about what other people think about us. And there's the whole coming out of the closet conversations that people have when people come out with their sexuality to their families. But I think all of us hold ourselves in some sort of closet and are always worried about what other people think about us. And it's those worries and those doubts and those fears that keep us trapped, I suppose. And I can personally relate to that, because 3-4 years ago, I was trapped. I was dumbing myself down to suit the people around me. And I came into this information and I suddenly went, no, why am I diluting myself and giving all of me and not giving myself anything back? Completely burnt out doing everything for everyone else, trying to fit in this little box that I thought other people thought I was in. But then the more I tried to fit this box, the more the box changed. So I could never work out what size this box was that I was trying to fit in. So in the end, I decided, well, actually, I don't want to fit their box. And long story short, in that case, because it's getting towards 9 o'clock now, and we don't want to go over time. We are very, very appreciative of your time. But long story short, all the people in that equation are no longer here. They have left. A good 2 hours away as well, which is really nice. Okay, so yes, when you change and you become you, who are you that you want to be, who you see yourself as, people are going to leave. Well, that's their problem. That's on them. That's not on
And
you.
that's a good thing.
Exactly. It's
They're
a very
making
good
space
thing.
for the right
It's in-
people.
Oh, yeah. It's so freeing because you get to be you.
Yeah.
And you can't be anybody else, and no one else can be you. You are the only you. Therefore, everyone else's opinion is not relevant. It doesn't matter what I think of you. It doesn't matter what your dad thinks of you. It doesn't matter what your spouse thinks of you. It doesn't matter what your kids think of you. What you think of you is the only thing that matters. And if you are being you and they don't like it, bye-bye. Because you are the only thing that lives with you 24/7. You are the only voice in here. So only your voice matters.
Amazing. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Polly. And thank you, John. I have one last little story to share with you guys, and it is about my self-image. So if one of you has met me maybe, I don't know, 4 years ago, and told me you will be speaking to so many people on social media inside Zoom, and you will be coaching people, and you will be a public speaker, also doing events like live events in person, I would have said, you're obviously mistaken, sir or madam. This is definitely not me. That's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen. And guess what? That person that I was 4 years ago was never able to look even at someone in the eyes and perform, I don't know, a live event, or just ask for a promotion, or simply ask for directions. I still sometimes feel that anxiety before asking for directions, to asking a stranger. And then I was like, wait, this is not me anymore. Now I can do it. Wait and see. And then I go and do it and prove to myself that this self-image has changed. When I was little, I was the kind of person that you wouldn't even notice in a crowd. I was really feeling invisible, and people treated me as such. I was literally sometimes really feeling invisible because nobody would pay attention to me. I would really like blend so much. I couldn't even get noticed, or I couldn't even make myself heard when I talk to people. People wouldn't even listen to me, or did not even hear me, because this is the self-image that I had about myself. Until I made the decision, this is not who I am. Wait a minute, who am I trying to satisfy here? Who am I trying to make proud or happy with that? Nobody actually cares. And as Jay was saying, once you allow yourself to express who you really are and allow yourself to get out of that box that you think people are putting you in, and you think people want you to stay, actually, nobody cares. Like, heads up, nobody cares, because everybody's just minding their own business, and everybody is in their subconscious mind fighting their own demons and their own self-image. So the best investment or the best decision that you can make in your life is allowing yourself to go deep into your subconscious mind, try to figure out what kind of self-image you have, and try to improve on that. Express your feelings, express your creativity, express your desires as it should be, as you are. Be yourself. This is the only thing you're here for, to be that person that you are. You may need some time to discover who that person is, because you have lived in a box for all your life, trying to fit in or trying to be someone that you're not. Sometimes it's the case. If it's not good for you, if it is, please, it's really very important. You owe it to yourself, and this is the best thing that you can do. Try to become the person that you really are. Try your best. Spend your whole life becoming that person, and then improve upon. John, yes.
Yeah, sorry, Nina. I just want to say that, just touching on that as well, something I just thought of very quickly, that in business, for example, we say that if you want to grow your business, you have to serve. So the more people you serve, the more money you make. But you have to be very, very, very good at what you do and you have to excel in the niche that you're in. But that also reflects in a personal level as well, because there's a reason, for example, that when you're on a plane and they say to you, if you're there with other people, if you're there with your children or your partner, when the oxygen mask comes down, if there's a problem, your instinct is to put it on your child first. And they're saying, no, you put it on you first, because if you're trying to get the mask on the child and something happens, you can neither save the child nor you. If you save you first, then you're able to act properly and then you can save other people. So that's exactly, excuse me, the way it is in real life. You have to save you first, because I had the thing, as I spoke about first, when I went into serious depression, because me as a man, I was brought up that you had to look after your wife and your children. That's it. And I didn't feel like a man because I couldn't do that. And because of that, it obviously affected my whole family. So when I sorted me out, then I can treat other people better. So you really have to focus on you first. You have to invest in yourself. That's why people go and they buy fancy cars and they go on holidays and they buy all these ladies buy clothes and bags and shoes and things that they never wear or whatever. It's only that really short little feeling of, you feel wonderful for those few seconds. But you're not really addressing anything, the man goes and buys the Porsche when he's 40 odd or whatever, same kind of thing, right? It's not going to do you any good whatsoever. It's just that little thing. But you're not really addressing anything. So this is what we're focusing on and that was the main thing that Nina was speaking about self-image, is to focus on you. Everything comes down to you, because once you make you feel better, you will be a better husband, a better wife, a better father, brother, sister, worker, employee, employer. Every single thing will happen because you're looking after you and you're focusing on others and giving to others. And in return, it's like when you want more love, you have to give it away first. If you want more love from somebody, if I keep saying to Polly, oh, I want to hug, Polly never hugs me, Polly never hugs me, she doesn't love me or whatever, right? But what I need to do, if I went over and if all I really want is a hug off Polly, if I go and give her a hug, she will go, oh, cool, so she give me a hug back. So the very thing I wanted, I have to give it away first. If I want to be loved by somebody, I have to love them first. It's the same with money, same as anything. So please, please, please focus on yourself first and invest in yourself, and then everything else will work its way out from there. Thank you, Nina.
Thank you, John. I think we have to close the call in a couple of minutes, but before that, Polly, yes, go ahead, unmute yourself, please.
There is very, very, very nice message from Rebecca and sharing her personal journey about how she managed to shift her paradigm through persistent effort. I know we're 9 o'clock now, but I just want to give a round of applause to Rebecca and for her journey today. We're doing a self-development work outside. We know how hard it is. And so absolutely brilliant that you never give up on yourself. That's the most important thing. You knew where you need to stick to, and you stick to it. And then that's why you're here with us today. We're so happy to have you with us. You're at the right place at the right time.
So wonderful. Yeah, and good for you, Rebecca. We're really happy to have this kind of energy today. And there's another comment on Facebook saying, you will never be defeated by what they say about you. You will be defeated by what you say and think about you. So pay attention to what kind of self-talk you're having with yourself, and start with the self-image. It's really, really a crucial component of the success equation. Before we finish this call, we promised you a giveaway if you stay until the end. So the gift is this: if you stay until Friday in this 5-day Success Accelerator, if you come and join us here on Zoom and you stay until Friday, you will get a free 30 minutes laser-focused coaching session one-on-one with one of us to help you set up your worthy goal, work on your paradigms, work on whatever thing that you need in this equation of success: the self-image, the paradigm, procrastination, a challenge in your career, defining your goal. It could be anything. We will be here for you 30 minutes, one-on-one, laser focused on you. So be there until Friday, and then we'll give you a link to book one of us directly and have your one-on-one coaching session. With that being said, I think, this day 3 comes to an end. This was me, Nina Roberts, with Polly, Jay, and John. We will see you tomorrow on day 4 of the Success Accelerator. Have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow.